Saturday morning. It is 8 o'clock on the dot. Rise and shine. You've made it to Coffee Talk. Good morning, good morning. I'm first warning meteorologist Eric Burris. This is Coffee Talk. We get together just about 7 days a week. We do this to try and hang out and do the weather thing. Get your day started off on the right note, chat about the weather, make sure if you've got any questions you can ask them. Let's ham it up. We drink a little coffee. I usually pull out, at this point, I've had enough coffee for a little bit. I switch over to my protein shake when I do the morning show, so I hope that that's okay. Anyway, you can see the temperatures there on the bottom of the screen. It is beautiful. Let's take a live look outside. This is our Tower Cam network, downtown Orlando. How pretty is that? Man, clear skies. That's the stuff dreams are made of, right? Rise and shine, my friends. All right, let's take a look at temperatures out the door. So nice outside. If you've got plans, no rain to speak of. Temperatures are in the 50s and 60s. It's 61 right now in Orlando. We're at 59 in St. Cloud. It's 56 outside in Titusville, 54 in Palm Bay. So we are looking good in the neighborhood. Our forecast today, keeping that trend, right? 70 just about for lunchtime. We'll do 75 by 1 p.m. and 77 degrees, our high temperature at 3 o'clock this afternoon. So it's a good one. Hold on, it's a good one. Excuse me. Whew. Barb, good morning to you. Bob, good morning. Terry, good morning. All right, more caffeine coming on in. That's what we need this morning. Susan, good morning to you. In listening mode, Don, good morning, good morning. Gina Renee, good morning. Susan, how are you? Belinda says, spring fever, bloom and grow is today. What a beautiful day it will be. Is that an event? I mean, if you want to talk about spring fever, like the allergen levels are absolutely all over the place. Here's our pollen count. Not that you needed me to tell you that, but, you know, there's that. Is that an event, though? Help me understand, but good morning to you. Pat, Linda, Beverly, Anna, David, good morning, good morning, good morning. What are y'all doing today? What a beautiful morning to enjoy my coffee by the pool, Victoria says. Yeah, I would agree. Belinda says, Winter Garden. Who knew? Very cool. All right, so let's talk about high temperatures around Central Florida, okay? In Winter Garden today, it's going to be a beautiful one, about 76, 77 degrees. Depending on the exact spot and all of that fun stuff. But look at the beaches, okay? Sitting at 75 in Titusville, 71 New Smyrna Beach, 70 Daytona Beach. Now, these are the cities that are not necessarily on the beach sand, okay? If you're going into the sand, it's going to be a little cooler. High temperatures today in the 60s. Water temperatures in the lower 70s, and it's kind of that air temperature, water temperature mixture. It's going to keep things feel a little cooler at the area beaches. Now, if you're wanting to go to the beach this weekend, I'll tell you, tomorrow's going to look a little better. Less wind and a little warmer temperature, so you're going to be okay. Pool forecast, by the way, if you're heading in, looks pretty good. It's not great. It's going to be breezy. Temperatures are not... 80 is like my number. If we're below 80, then it's a good day. Today's a good day for the pool. It's not great. It's still pretty good, though, you know. I can't say that I won't end up in my pool. Now, it's a heated pool. Can't say that I won't end up in there. Yeah. Jan says, wow, is it lovely outside or what? It is lovely outside, right? Frank says, I'm showing a beautiful condo on the beach with a boat slip. I don't know if I will ever be able to afford a beach condo, particularly one with a boat slip. So I want to live vicariously through you, big brother. That's where I'm at. Yeah, that'd be nice. One day, maybe. I like the beach. What can I say? Hey, heading out to SeaWorld today. I also like roller coasters and theme parks. Looks like a pretty good forecast, right? Temperatures in the 70s. It's looking good. It's all good. It's all good. Jeannie says, Doggy Outdoor Fashion Show for Animal Shelters fundraiser today. That sounds good. We also have Spring Break for Pilots, which I need to get another background for Sun and Fun. I'm going to have to grab a Mooney for the graphic. I've got one, but it's got a Cessna, and I fly a Cessna, but dress for the job you want, not the job you have. You know what I'm saying? You know? Just saying. Just saying. Yukon says, Eric, you will be able to pay the mortgage on the house, put into the 401k, the Hearst pension. You will do it. I'm trying. Yukon, I'm trying. I'm trying to do the things. I told Jeannie, she wanted to build this house that we are in. I wanted to like gut an older house with some property. And she won. But I told her, that's fine. That's fine. You win this time. I get it next time. So, okay. So she's got her way. I win the next time. I get the old house that we're going to gut down to the studs. We're not going to flip it. I want to live in it. But I want a house like with... They just, they don't have those big properties anymore, It's just not a thing. Oh, well. All right, so we're looking pretty good here. We've got a couple of events over the next couple of days. Let's talk about it. First and foremost, rocket launch tomorrow from the Kennedy Space Center. The forecast looks to be pretty good, but I do want you to know that when it comes to this one, there is a return to landing site, which means sonic booms. That's right. Return to landing site. So about 8 minutes or so after liftoff, that first stage will come back. And of course, the twin sonic booms will impact us. And because the winds tomorrow are coming in from the east, you can probably bet many of us are going to hear that. And then on Monday, we've got the solar eclipse. It's not going to be totality in Central Florida, but we do have a 57% obscuration. And I'll add to this that, and we talked about this on Coffee Talk yesterday morning, this is not going to be as obscure as the 2017 was in Central Florida. It's still going to be cool to see, though, right? So we'll watch. We'll see. It's still a thing to talk about. I'll be over at the Orlando Science Center if you're looking for ways. I know that at least as of last check, which was yesterday, I think that they still had tickets available. You have to pre-purchase tickets to go to the Orlando Science Center for this. I think they're going to have like all of Lock Haven Park blocked off for it so that you can go. They're going to be handing out like the special glasses that you need. But I'll be on live. I think I'm doing the 9 a.m. newscast from the Science Center Observatory, the noon newscast. We're going to be doing all the things. All right. Now, that said, I don't know how quickly I could get. Actually, I might. Hold on. Do I have it? I do. All right. Give me a few seconds. So I've got something I want to show you. This hasn't aired yet, but this is perfect. This is a do-it-yourself Eclipse viewer, okay? Take a listen. This is the science of it segment. Okay, let me get this set. Give me 2 seconds here. All right, so I'm going to get this set up. So this is the science of it segment that talks about a do-it-yourself viewer. Watch this. I'll see you in a minute. This hasn't aired yet, but watch. I'll see you in a minute.
Hey there, welcome to the Orlando Science Center. I'm meteorologist Eric Burris here with Zachary. And Zachary, we're talking about things a little more outer space today.
Yeah, so nature doesn't just involve Earth, right? It involves all of outer space. And there's a pretty cool natural phenomenon happening very early this month on April 8th. We have another solar eclipse.
Yeah, very cool.
You may remember the one that happened back in October. This one's a little different. This is a total solar eclipse.
Right.
But we're still only going to get about 60% here in Orlando. But we talked about some cool ways to look at solar eclipses.
Right.
You may recognize these, which are just our cool solar eclipse glasses, block out 99.9% of light, so it's safe to look at the sun, because that is the only time it is safe to look directly at the sun. Not during an eclipse, not during an eclipse.
Yeah.
Only look at the sun when you have these solar glasses or a telescope that has a solar filter.
And I think that's important to mention, right? Because you're hearing so much of like, it's dangerous to look at the sun. We're not ever looking at the sun, but during an eclipse, it's interesting to look at the sun. So we have to figure out ways to do that.
Exactly, right? And so if you don't have the ability to get these, there's some indirect ways of looking at the sun. You can just take a household colander, shine the light, and the shadows will actually change their shape in order to show the kind of moon passing over the sun. But if you want your own projector theater, you can make a solar pinhole viewer. And so it's really easy. All you need is some tape, scissors, a black piece of paper, which you're then going to cut out a little piece of, and you're going to cut 2 holes in your box, both on the same side of the box, right?
So it could be like an Amazon box. It could be a cereal box.
Exactly. It can be kind of any box you want, just a little bit long enough. You want to put it on the longest side here, And then all you have to do is tape your black piece of paper over your viewing hole, which should be a little bit smaller, kind of nice and centered. You're going to tape it up so that way no light kind of gets in. You don't want any light escaping in there. And then all you're going to do is just poke a little pinhole right in that center there.
Use parents, of course, to help with that.
Of course. And then you have your very own pinhole viewer. And you can actually see those shadows will start to change the shape as we shine some light, which I happen to have a pretty cool light right here in order to do so. So I can just take this black piece of paper, go ahead and try to shine the light through. And you're able to start seeing all of these individual lights.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
And then when I start putting the paper over it.
Yeah.
Exactly. So what's happening there is this pinhole is kind of acting like a lens, actually focusing the light. So it's only allowing that direct parallel light through.
Yeah.
And so then when we change the shape of that direct parallel light, it changes the shape that's projected inside the box.
And thus it's safe to look at through this.
Because it's totally safe to look at the small reflection that's bouncing off of the back of the box back into your eyes.
I love that. Now, here at the Orlando Science Center, you're also going to be having an event to be able to see this.
Of course, yeah. If you want to be able to come out to check out the solar eclipse, all you have to do is go to www.osc.org. You have to pre-purchase your tickets. We're not allowing any walk-ups day of, just because, as always, we're going to expect it to be a very busy day with an awesome event like this.
You guys will have the solar.
Of course, we will have our own branded solar eclipse glasses. We're going to have a bunch of activities. We're going to go on to Lock Haven Park and watch the eclipse. It happens. It starts around 1:55 that day. So make sure you come on by. You got to pre-buy your tickets, though.
Very good. Thank you, Zachary, very much. And thank you for joining us for the Science Summit.
All right, so it's awkward like seeing myself and then coming back to myself. But I wanted to air that. That has not aired on the news yet, but it's in the can, so why not use it here on Coffee Talk, right? So anyway, I thought it's kind of cool at least to discuss that, right? It's super easy. You don't even have to do that. You know, like that's one way to do it, but I loved the colander idea. You know, I remember on any of the eclipses, if you just look at the light coming down through like the trees even, or just take a piece of paper, poke a hole and look at it, you know? So anyway, there's different ways to look at it safely. Do that, right? Look, it's not totality. So it's going to be cool. It's not going to be like dark. What'll be interesting is where that actual eclipse takes place, totality. Do the temperatures drop, right? Is that in the can or in the box? Tim, that's funny. So anyway, thought it was kind of neat. I think I'll just watch it on TV, Debbie says. Well, and you know, we'll be bringing live coverage. I'll be over at Lock Haven Park and, of course, the Orlando Science Center for it. So where is totality? It's not here in Central Florida. We were discussing this yesterday. Totality is well west of us. That line there through Texas and Arkansas, that's the line of totality. So kind of gives you an idea. You know, Indianapolis, Little Rock, you know, a couple of minutes. It's still going to be nifty here in Central Florida. One problem, though, let's look at that again, totality line. But this time, let's look at it with the computer model data. The big concern, especially in Texas and Arkansas, is going to be moisture bubbling up, cloud cover. Is it going to be perfect? No. I think places like my sister station WMUR and WCVB are going to have the best forecast for an eclipse. And actually, this is kind of a neat little story here. Let me pull this story up. Okay, this is from our sister station, WCVB News Center 5 in Boston, talking about how pets actually may react to the eclipse. Let me get this dialed up here, and there's probably going to be an advertisement because, you know, got to pay the bills.
That's right.
Of course.
You're e-signing.
I don't know what to do with this feeling.
Yeah, you do.
I'll mute it just until it stops. All right. When it's done, I can unmute it. Give it a second. All right, take a listen.
Few minutes on Monday afternoon, the sun is going to be almost completely behind the moon, likely creating the best opportunity in our lifetime to see a near total solar eclipse. Joining us now, Talia Sapersky, the planetarium educator at the Museum of Science. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for asking me.
All right, Talia. So NASA says here in Needham and the greater Boston area at 3:29 p.m. on Monday, the moon will cover about 92.5% of the sun. So not a total eclipse here, but pretty close. And the one question that we kind of keep getting, what does that mean as far as how dark it will actually get around here?
It will, I mean, the sky is going to be dim. It's going to be dimmer, but it's not like it's going to be totally dark. It's not going to look like nighttime. You're still going to be able to walk around outside. I know that 8% of the sun doesn't sound like a lot, but that is actually still a lot of light that's going to be coming down.
Yeah, the sun is very bright. Okay, so what else should we expect to see?
Well, if you have eclipse glasses, if you have a safe way to look at the sun, you will see it as a thin crescent. And if you're not looking at it.
All right, well, so, you know, they're obviously having this whole conversation. I just think that it's kind of interesting, though. Like, 8% of the sun is still a lot of sun. Like, I thought, you know, that was a fact that I thought was interesting. But animals are going to get confused. It's the wrong clip, of course. But listen, when you're directing and talking, sometimes you're going to click the wrong button. Either way, that's another thing is like these areas that are almost in totality, still not going to get completely dark. I just think that kind of stuff is pretty neat. So anyway, Monday, we're going to have full coverage. It's going to be fun, and then we'll move on. By the way, in the 2040s, about 21 years from now, Central Florida will have totality. And if I'm lucky enough to still be a meteorologist here, then we'll cover that one. And that's going to be a lot cooler. But for now, here we go. All right, so the forecast next couple of days looking great. Beautiful sunshine. Warming temperatures, though. Look at that. 82 on Monday, 85 on Tuesday, nearly 90 on Wednesday. And then thunderstorms come through Thursday. One thing to take a look at, which is kind of interesting, that cold front on Thursday doesn't bring cold air. Look at that Friday temperature. Down a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. So these cold fronts are fewer and fewer, which is why I've been so adamant today, like, go do the things. Because these weekend days of temperatures in the 70s, I got to tell you, not going to have many of these left. Yeah. All right. All right, any questions, comments, concerns? Anything? How we doing? You doing okay, everybody? Summer's knocking on the front door. It is. I mean, average high is already 82. It has been beautiful the last few days. It has. It has. Yep. Get out and enjoy the day, everyone. You heard Terry said it. What time is the launch? It's in the 7 o'clock hour. Eileen says we're going to Animal Kingdom tomorrow. Tomorrow is, I think it's the first day that I'm not blocked out, even though I don't think we're going to go tomorrow. But yeah. Sarah, the next major front. There ain't many major fronts. We're running out of those. Yeah. What is next weekend looking like? For right now, hold on. Let me dial this up. Next weekend, highs in the lower 80s. You guys, let me just tell you, looking at where we're at right now, today and tomorrow are the coolest I see for the next 15 days and perhaps beyond. Like, this may be the last little taste. This may be the last little taste. Yeah. I wish I had more cool for you, but we're running out. We're running out. Lauren says SeaWorld was beautiful yesterday. Perfect weather. I would imagine so. Weather history question. I tried to ask Tony last night. He wasn't able to answer it. Has there ever been a time where a total solar eclipse and a total lunar eclipse ever happened on the same day? And if so, when did it happen? I don't even think that would be possible given the directions of things. But no, I study the weather, man. We study the weather. We don't study the space as much. I can barely remember what hurricane hit what year. But Brian, I don't think that's possible. Yeah. Anna says Thursday bad weather. At what time will it start? It's a little early to go dive that deep. A little too early for it. We'll get there. Tim, be the eclipse in someone's eye. Yeah. What time does the system move in on Thursday? My guy has to fly out of MCO. It's a little early to tell at this point. I'll show you kind of where the GFS is with things. You know, it's developing that storm system, bringing that rain in. It looks like afternoon. It looks like it's going to be afternoon. But it's, you know, if you go with the European versus the GFS, they have different timing. So we're getting there. We're not quite to the point where we can start. By tomorrow, what I'll do is by tomorrow, I'll try and put together the American and European models just so that we can compare the timing and start doing that. Yeah. Yukon, I Google a lot of things that pop into my mind. Yeah. And now we're all going to sweat for 6 months. Yukon, you're not wrong, though. It's true. We're like just about there. Because look at the April almanac. I'll show you. All right, so here's the April weather. Average high temperature at the beginning of the month is 81. We've already made it to 82. Average by the end of the month is 86. Okay, and then for May, and I haven't updated this yet, so it may need some updating, but 86 is the average high temperature at the beginning of the month. By the end of the month in May, the average high temperature is 90. So this may be the last stretch of days in the 70s, y'all. So seriously, go enjoy. I don't care what you do, but you need to do something. Oh, man. Don't look back at the sun or for the sun, but only if you're wearing... Yeah, ISO compliant. Yep, that's true. The ISO compliant headgear. All right, questions, comments, concerns. We got 4 minutes to the Today Show cut-in. Jim, the 2024 hurricane season predictions came out this week. Has anyone looked back over the past decade to determine the percentage of accuracy? Be nice to hear that they were most accurate like Wesh. Well, okay, so you said that the 2024 hurricane season predictions came out this year. In reality, or this week, in reality, Colorado State put out their hurricane season predictions. Let's review Colorado State in the center, Wesh on the right. So these are the two long-range forecasts that have already come out. All right. The average season is 14 named storms, 7 hurricanes, 3 majors. Colorado State is going with the most aggressive preseason forecast they have ever come out with. 23 named storms, 11 hurricanes, 5 major hurricanes. I'm going with 16 to 20 named storms, 8 to 10 hurricanes, 3 to 5 major hurricanes. Not as aggressive in terms of numbers as Colorado State. We'll see. You know, I've been very happy with my long-range forecasting, but nothing is perfect. All right? Yeah. Like, just looking at the last couple of years, like last year, Colorado State went 13 named storms in April. We went 18 named storms in April, and I think that there were 20. The year before, they went 19. We had 12 to 16. So, you know, there's always differences. So we'll always go back and we'll check. We'll always check our work. Wesh's hurricane forecast does not change, though. That's one thing. Yeah. Brian, Eric, I read somewhere that hurricane cones were going to change this year. Is that correct? It's just, okay, so it's just the graphical cone. So I spoke with the folks at the Hurricane Center about this, and of course I've got the clip. Let me see if I can find it here. I don't know if I'm going to have time to do this. It's this clip, but I don't know if I'm going to have. Let's listen. Oh, yeah. So many gorgeous restaurants right on the water. When I lived in West Palm, we would fly all the time. All right, so I got so this is Deputy Director Jamie Rome, but I have to skim through this to see if I can find. We're not going to have time. All right, so that was an interview that I had with him. He was talking, but basically they're wanting to come up with a one graphic solution. So all they're doing is they're keeping the cone, but they're adding inland watches and warnings to it. That's the only change. Yeah. So there's that. All right. I got a minute to the cut-in. Listen, be the sunshine in someone else's day. Before we go, let's annoy someone so near and dear to my heart. I mean, I love Ping. I know that was the joke.
Good morning. Somebody poured the decaf coffee this morning, not
She's
the
not
regular
kidding.
coffee.
She's like, I'm having a morning because I poured decaf. I'm like, what the heck do you have decaf in your house for?
Because we work the morning shift, so in the afternoon when I'm craving like just that warm, cozy cup of coffee, but I don't want to keep myself up at night, I go for the decaf.
It's got to be because you're different than me. Because for me, I could slam a coffee and go right to bed.
I think that's called a caffeine addiction, my friend. I've been there before too, but then I tried to cut back. Well, actually during pregnancy, I didn't drink coffee at all, so now my tolerance is this big.
Oh, good. So you're working back up to where I'm at?
Yep, that's the goal.
Thank you. Now go anchor a show. All right, people. Have a great, great Saturday. Thank you so much for hanging out for Coffee Talk. We'll see you on TV here in a couple minutes, and then tomorrow morning for Coffee Talk at 8 o'clock. Be the sunshine in someone else's day. Bye, y'all.